marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed with living. Rep New York City, but ain't the politician. Always bring the heat, Steph baking in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world of what he does. Tap in. Hot summer streets and the pavements are burning. I sit around, trying to smile, but the air's so heavy and dry. Strange voices are saying, "Who? What did they say? Things I can't understand. It's too close for comfort. This heat has got right out of hand. It's a cruel, cruel summer, leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone. You're not the only one. It's a cruel summer, leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel summer. Now you're gone. What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Or in this case, I should say, banned in the world of what he does. Yeah. That sounds right. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing okay on this Memorial Day weekend. Time to give thoughts and thanks or remembrance to those of us who have served our country so well, or let's just put it this way, served the country and gave their life for this country. So, moment of silence. This episode begins the path to it. Matter of fact, begins the new journey that Mike Steph is embarking on. A journey that'll take us to parts unknown, if you will. A journey, a road to Neverland, if you will. I got a couple topics that I'm going to talk about this week that in the past, I probably wouldn't have broached. In the past, I probably didn't give a F about. In the past, I wanted to stay on a straight and narrow and not divert, except for my world famous tangents. But at this point in time, being the fact that YouTube is doing some funny business with yours truly could give less than a you-know-what. So, I'm bringing back a very popular, I wouldn't even say segment, a very popular episode that I've done only 2 times in the whole history of the Salty Thoughts franchise. And that, my friends, would be something I used to call, or I tenderly call, the Potpourri of Bullshit. Yes, the Potpourri of Bullshit, Part 3. Potpourri of Bullshit encompasses a lot of topics that I try to cram in to at least 90 minutes, because guess what? Trying to get everything into a nice, tidy 65 to 70 minutes got me where I'm at right now. So pretty much I have no time restrictions, no time limit, no time restraint in my mind or in my hand to get through these various topics that I'm going to broach, I'm going to tackle, I am going to discuss. Being the fact that I pride myself for this being primarily a sports-centric podcast, of course, I will talk about sports, but not the sports that you really think I'm going to talk about. I actually have a lot of thoughts on this current that's right, WNBA season, with all the controversy, with all the discussion centered around rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, and whether or not the WNBA veterans are being petty, whether or not the WNBA is going to capitalize on this newfound notoriety, or as the majority of the public calls it, newfound notoriety, even though they've been bubbling underneath the surface for the last couple years. But I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest concerning the discussion involving Caitlin Clark, involving Diana Taurasi, involving all the grizzled veterans of the W, and whether or not you should find, or people should think of this, whether or not people should think of this as a resurgence and not as a discovery. Because do you know the W has been around for 28 years? 28 or 29 years? I think it's 28 years. Yeah. Trust me, I will go as in depth as I can on my knowledge of the history of the W, and just a lot of things I need to get off my chest, because right now it seems like there's a lot of tribalism when it comes to the W. And of all my wrestling fans, y'all know tribalism is something we're currently dealing with the WWE and AEW and the fan bases, and pretty much trying to protect what they feel is rightfully theirs, and trying to knock out or box out all the newcomers that they desperately want, but at the same time, when the newcomers come, they want to try to safeguard. You see, even Stitches on some bullshit today. You try to safeguard what they feel is sacred. But yeah, that's what I'm going to get into today. I'm getting into WNBA. Second on my list will be the New York Metropolitans. Yes, the New York Metropolitans. And I know you're probably wondering why. Well, it's just before Memorial Day. Yeah, I know the Knicks got eliminated. The Mets are like 8 games under 500. They've won 4 of their last 16 games. Why? Oh, why are you talking about those New York Metropolitans? Well, I'll tell you right now, because me and the boys went to Citi Field today. And not only did we go to Citi Field, we actually were treated to a victory, and not just any old victory. No. Not just a commonplace victory. No, I was in attendance for my personal first walk-off victory. Right now, truth be told, I'm on a 2-game winning streak when I'm in attendance. Last year, me, the brother Zal, and Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach attended the game in which they beat the Cincinnati Reds. Regular mundane game, end of September, saw a lot of call-ups. It was what it was. Today, not only was it me, the brother Zal, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, but we have 2 others, Mr. James and Mr. Chucky. So we was a quintet, if you will. And throughout the whole game, I was talking mucho shit about how the Mets were going to cough this game up, how the Mets were going to lose yet again. And they proved me wrong. But guess what? By them proving me wrong, I was in a no-lose situation. Either I'm right on the fact that they're going to lose, or they're actually going to win. And by them winning, that makes me a winner because guess, look at this garb. You really think I went to the game dressed like this? Really wanting the Mets to lose? That's what they call lowered expectations. So I will be talking and discussing not so much the intricacies of what happened during the game. No. I'll be talking about all the hijinks that was had in our day at Citi Field. Me and the boys. Here's a little glimpse. Oh, look at that monstrosity of a hat. Yeah, these are the City Connect hats. Monstrosity. Do we really need the Queensboro Bridge on a hat? I think not. Yeah. No, yeah, they can't see you. All right, I'm good. Uh-oh. Fuck you. Uh-oh. Fuck you. Uh-oh. Fuck you. Uh-oh. That's what I think about that hat. That's what I think about the City Connect. But, listen. Different strokes for different folks. Actually found a couple tidbits about Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach that I thought we were simpatico when it comes to certain things. And I realized we're actually more different than I thought when it comes to, shall I say, jersey etiquette? Shall I say, coordination? I don't know. Just a little hint of things to come. And lastly, one of the topics I will get into today is a topic I never really talk about, but I said, fuck it. Why not? And you know what that topic is? We're coming up on 3 years in the city of marijuana being legal in NYC. Yeah, everybody knows, look, which car people smoke here, people smoke there, shit. It's not a new thing. The legality of it, however, is a new thing for NYC. I believe July 21, to be exact, it was legal. Which is brought upon a lot of different situations, a lot of topics, a lot of things that I can actually get into. Not only that, I have a lot of questions at hand. I have a lot of questions at hand about the new and, well, I shouldn't say the new and improved, but just the habits of, those who partake and why exactly things have changed from 25 years ago in the heyday in the 90s to whatever the hell is going on right now. Listen, I come from an era of if you tried to roll up in the hallway, you have to be on point. Either beat walkers, D's, regardless, because back then you got caught with a little joint, you got caught with a half a blunt, they would take your ass downtown. They would give you a ticket right then and there. So when I see everything all willy-nilly, it's just kind of like, wow. Look, I'm not knocking, I'm not hating. Still, after 3 years, it's a lot for me to kind of figure out and kind of actually take as normal. So yeah, I'm going to get my little thoughts on that because, like I said, the potpourri of bullshit. And if time permits, i.e., if I remember to mention stuff, I will give my thoughts on the newest Rapsody song, D&D. It's not personal, which the message in that song is very, very near and dear to Mike Steph. I will give a couple thoughts on this anti-Semitic, matter of fact, yeah, this anti-Semitic movement, or should I say the movement to end anti-Semitism in New York City schools, which, listen, I'm not about to hate. Not about to hate for anybody. Any race, color, creed, sex, gender, alphabet, number, whatever. Listen, different strokes for different folks. If the world don't move to the beat of just one drum, what night you? not some. A man is born, he's a man of means, and along comes two who got nothing but dreams. They got different strokes. They got different strokes. They got different strokes to move the world. Nah. But I have a little personal antidote that actually the subject actually allowed me to spill on concerning none other than, how can I say this without divulging the identity? Sister Ooh of Joy. Yeah. Sister Ooh of Joy. Something happened years ago concerning Sister Ooh of Joy and concerning exactly what I'm going to talk about in that segment. So, yeah, that's what's going to be on deck this week. Like I said, a potpourri of bullshit. I wonder how the numbers are going to be this week. Wonder if I'm going to give a fuck. And just to let everybody know, even though it's kind of too late in the game to say it, parental advisory is strongly suggested. Yes, strongly suggested. There will be a lot of coarse language. Won't be no nudity. It'll be a lot of controversial views. And if you're one of the ones that are meek, mild mannered, and prude, guess what? It's gonna be a lot of crude shit going on this episode. My sister Ooh, my regular sister Ooh, told me maybe I should just put that out there so people will know what the hell they're getting into. And I agree. Don't tell me, don't say anything. Don't say I didn't warn you. So with all that being said, for this long ass intro, because guess what? The episodes of long ass intros has returned. There is no boundaries that will not be broken down. There will be no type of decorum dealing with the salty thoughts of Mike Steph, because what did that get me? It got me exactly where I'm at. And hopefully keep rising to the top, or at least prevent from sinking to the bottom. So with all that being said, let's get this show on the road, huh? Without further ado, Stitch, you got anything to say? Stitch is just looking at me. He give me that side eye. You see one eye Willie over there? Without further ado, good night and goodbye. Bam! I'm going to start things off with the WNBA like this. I'm going to let y'all know off top, I have been a viewer of the WNBA since its inception, I believe in 1997, right? I remember when there was the original teams, the Houston Comets, the Los Angeles Sparks, and of course, the New York Liberty. Those are the teams that I remember. There were players in the original, well, at the very origin of the WNBA that I remember. One of these players are on your screen right now. To my YouTube viewers and to my listeners, I'm talking about none other than Rebecca Lobo. Lobo was the top pick in the inaugural WNBA draft. She was an All-American out of the University of Connecticut. And in some ways, in a lot of ways, was the face of the league in those early days. Yes. Was she the best player in the league? No, not by a long shot. We had a litany of players that once you saw them on the hard court, you realized they were the truth, such as Cynthia Cooper, such as Teresa Witherspoon, just amongst others, such as Sheryl Swoopes, Tina Thompson, who I'll get into in very, very short fashion. These were the players that really formed the foundation of the league in its early days. There was dynasties in the early days. Matter of fact, a dynasty in the early days. But back to my original question. Do y'all remember Rebecca Lobo? Do y'all remember or not? Like I said, it might not be as extreme as what's going on with Caitlin Clark right now, but there are a lot of similarities of the times. Popular opinion or not, do y'all really think they started the WNBA based on the skills, based on the popularity of Sheryl Swoopes? As bad as she was, like, I think there was a time people was trying to call her the female Michael Jordan. As bad as she was, do y'all really think they started the league off of her? Or how about Cynthia Cooper? Multi-time WNBA MVP, multi-time WNBA champion, leader of the Houston Comets. Unfortunately, due to numerous injuries suffered by in a lot of people's opinion, the GOAT women's basketball player of all time, Sheryl Miller, sister of, matter of fact, Sheryl Miller, whose brother happens to be Reggie Miller, because, yeah, he's her brother. She's not his sister, if you get what I'm saying. Do y'all really think they started the league based on them? No, they started it based on Rebecca Lobo, because she was the face. She was the safe face. She was the hope. If anybody knows what I'm talking about the GWH, the Great White Hope. Listen, I'm not bringing race into it, as in this is what's happening, this is what's not happening. They don't like her because of this, they like her because of this. But in a lot of different situations, when it's something that's when the popularity of something is based on a minority, but they want to make it quote unquote mainstream, most of the time they put a mainstream face on the brand. And the people that's on the margins that actually really feed into that notion of race. Yeah, okay. Listen, have you ever seen a outstanding wide receiver that happened to be Caucasian? As in number one in the league? Cooper Kupp? Yes. Yeah, I can see it. Matter of fact, how about this? Cornerback. It's one of those old Bomani Jonesisms. Yeah. If you're playing the secondary and you're white, guess what they're going to try to make you? They're going to try to make you a safety, because certain positions are just for certain people. It's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But I'm getting off track here, because I'm about to go down a hole that I really don't want to go down, because that's not my intent. I remember watching the original New York Liberty, whose best player was Teresa Witherspoon. Teaspoon. Where you at? Where you at? There she go. Now look at Teaspoon. I think she's head coach of the Chicago Sky right now, right? She was that person when it came to the Liberty. She was lighting up the garden back in the days. It was her and Starks. Yeah, I know. It's strange analogy, but she was doing a damn thing back then. And then you have, you had such people as, and real ones really love themselves some Tina Thompson and some Lisa Leslie on the Sparks. Listen, she was the woman back then. She led the Sparks to multiple championships. And of course, Tina Thompson. Tina Thompson with the bright red lipstick. Tina Thompson with those DSLs. Y'all know what those DSLs are, right? Listen, don't play with me. Y'all know what a DSL is, right? Well, and I told y'all this is not going to be for the prude. So I'm going to let y'all know exactly what a DSL is. And this is not a sexist comment, but there was a lot of reason why the boys were huddled around the games watching Houston Comets basketball. DSLs was, and let me whisper this, dick sucking lips. So now the same thing is going on now, but it's the fact that everyone's opinion is so accessible to the fact that the backlash seems new, original even. But this is the same backlash, maybe not as all in your face as it was back then. And you notice how I've had on this screen for the last 15 minutes, matter of fact, last 10 minutes, Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And you know whose picture I've yet to put up? That's right, Caitlin Clark. Because I'm going down the line since a lot of the pundits out there, the WNBA pundits out there, are saying that, we need to give flowers to the originators. We need to give flowers to the veterans. We need to give flowers to everyone. It doesn't revolve around one person. So guess what? I'm not revolving this subject around one person, but this one person is becoming a lightning rod for everything concerning the WNBA. Right now, I have on the screen Diana Taurasi, who others would say would be the GOAT. I believe, how many rings did she have in college? Did she go for the sweep? Did she have all 4? I know she got at least 2 in the WNBA. She's been in Phoenix for almost 20 years. What about Sue Bird from the Seattle Storm back in the day? What about Maya Moore from the Minnesota Lynx? And the only thing that stopped her, I'll get into that in a little bit. But the reason why this backlash right now seems so acute is because of the age of social media. Don't y'all think? The fact that anybody with the phone in their hand could quickly go on the platform of their choosing and give their opinion. Back in 97, 98, 99, when I'm quite sure a lot of people, or at least the ones that were paying attention, had these thoughts about, well, you got Swoopes, you got Cooper, you got Leslie. Why do I have to see Rebecca Lobo's tall doofy ass on my screen every damn game? Well, first of all, why do you think she was drafted number 1? For visibility. Why do you think she was drafted by the Liberty, who happened to reside in New York? For visibility, for mainstream potential. It's just right now, Caitlin Clark has such a great 2 years in Iowa and helped, along with Angel Reese, along with this sister right here, Dawn Staley, from the sidelines, and bringing up women's college basketball as a whole, that popularity has bled into the WNBA. But like I said, I'm getting way off topic. What kills me right now is this. What really kills me right now is the fact that it's almost becoming the mentality of covering the WNBA is becoming like the cool kids club, the ones that were down since day one. Down since day one-ish. It's me, Oos. Day one-ish. I get it. Y'all been rioting and dying for years. Y'all been wanting this exposure for years. Y'all been wanting people to pay attention to the W for years. So why, when people are paying attention, and yeah, maybe some of their views are a little bit out of left field. Maybe some of their views are not quote unquote politically correct. But what's that old saying? Controversy creates cash. Any publicity is good publicity. When you got all these eyes on you, I really think it's fumbling the bag that started trying to box everybody out. Like, nah, you wasn't here from day one. Look, you don't know about Vandersloot. You don't know about Stewie. No, and Stewie is bad. Stewie's bad. You don't know about Sabrina. Listen, do y'all not realize that the popularity of women's basketball allows Sabrina Ionescu to be on the stage of the All-Star weekend and go head-to-head, mano a mano, or mano a mana with Steph Curry for the three-point contest? You think that would have happened 5 years ago? You think that would have happened 3 years ago? I'm not saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, but I'm saying, and same thing that multiple people have said, the rising tide raises all the boats. So if all this, whether positive or negative, publicity on Caitlin Clark is bringing more eyeballs to the league, then you use those eyeballs and show them exactly what y'all have. Charles Barkley even mentioning pettiness on the inside the NBA. Yeah, y'all can look at it like, yo, dude don't have nothing. He don't have nothing correct to say. He don't know which way. He hasn't spoken to anybody. Yeah, and that might be all fine and dandy, and that might be the truth, and that probably is the truth, because he'll be the first one to tell you he don't be watching all these fucking games of the NBA when he's doing March Madness. You really think he know about these colleges? You really think he know about the 14th seed? You don't give a fuck about that. But by him lending his celebrity to that sport, to that segment, is bringing eyeballs to the sport. So by him saying, yeah, yo, these petty ass women, you know, they need to they need to appreciate Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I know it's very abrasive, and yeah, it's kind of disrespectful, but look who you got paying attention to the shit. Now, for the ignorant, the people be like, darn, yo, Barkley was talking about these petty ass women. Yo, oh, they playing on the Ion network. Oh, they playing on Channel 7. Oh, they playing on ESPN. Oh, they're playing on NBA TV. Yo, matter of fact, let me check out who this Caitlin Clark is. Oh, damn. They going who's this chick? Who's this chick on the Sparks? Christina Brink. Yo, she's nice. Yo, Audra Wilson, nice. Homegirl that just got divorced from Waller. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. I remember the vision. Nice. Especially that last outfit, but either here or there. This is what you bring. Becky Hammon. Do you think Becky Hammon would be so outspoken right now if she didn't have the eyes on her from being the first female to actually coach a game in the NBA when she was part of the San Antonio Spurs staff? Becky Hammon, not original, but former New York Liberty player. Then went to the San Antonio franchise. Then went to the Spurs after that. Then used that notoriety to make this dynasty in the making in Las Vegas. I'm just saying. It's like there's one comment I've read, of, preparing for this, right? To try to have some type of semblance of knowing what I'm talking about. Like I've said at the beginning, I am not the foremost expert when it comes to the W. I'm not. Tell you the truth, I really wish, to a certain degree, maybe throughout the season, maybe later on in the season, give me another excuse to ask him to come on. My bro Tyler McDowell from Gimmick Infringement is really entrenched in the W. Before all this, he was bigging them up. So maybe I can have him on and he can give his point of view from the land of the sun, Phoenix Mercury. Brittany Griner. There's another one from LSU. Moki, her kooky ass. Another one bringing eyes, whether positive or negatively, to the women's game, albeit collegiate. Joe Wilson. And Caitlin Clark. See, it's taking me about 20 minutes to actually put her name on the screen. But like I said, there was one comment I read concerning the discourse on this topic. And I'm going to read it because, like I said, it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. Quote, and maybe check in to see how all the players feel about them saying that she's the best thing to happen to their league. Like the Aces aren't out here trying to three-peat and go for a dynasty. That kind of talk is disrespectful. And I get it. I get it. Listen, they back-to-back champions. They beat the Liberty last season. They're going for a three-peat. I get it. But this thing about why not focus on the Aces, I'll say personally, I got more interested in the WNBA last season due to the super teams out in Vegas and right here in Brooklyn. When they put when Stewie came over and paired her with Sabrina, and you had the interesting mix going on, and the Barclays were packed. My black ass won't be going into Barclays no time soon, but the Barclays were packed when the Liberty was a hot ticket in town. The popularity was increasing to me as of last year. But how much of that was due to the women's game in college? Once again, a question from the ignorant. Yeah, that's me. And the uninformed. Yeah, that's me also. Like, last year, I'm trying to look for a picture. Damn it. Let me find out I don't got a picture of old girl. Damn, I don't. But Juju Watkins from USC. Shoot, to me, it was almost like she was the female Carmelo of college last year. She was putting in buckets. You mean to tell me when she gets to the league, all this hype that's on Caitlin Clark might not transfer over to Juju? I'm saying. Years ago, I remember when Skylar Diggins first came into the league. And it was quote unquote a lot of hate because she was supposed to be like a pretty girl, right? And all the veterans were hating because there was eyeballs due to the fact that a lot of people was looking at Skylar like, damn, I want to holler. Fear foul. And maybe they didn't capitalize on those eyeballs. Maybe for a different reason. But to me, that was fumbling the bag. That was fumbling the bag themselves. But the question about why aren't dynasties garnering more interest? Well, first of all, I'm not going to lie, times are different. But how much did the Houston Comets dominance bring eyeballs to the league? I'll wait. When they were winning championship after championship after championship after championship in the very beginning of the league, After that first initial curiosity war, how many eyeballs were on the league? I'll wait. So I don't want to hear, oh, well, how come y'all not paying attention to the dynasties? Was Maya Moore carrying the league to mainstream exposure when she was winning championships with the Lynx? In a lot of circles, she's better known for her college exploits and her post-career fighting for prison reform than she was or is remembered as a WNBA champion. Calling a spade a spade. Or the Mercury with that outstanding players. Taurasi and Griner over the years. Taurasi now is the poster child for the hating Caitlin Clark Club. But was it hating? Or was it telling the truth of, listen, y'all think she's gonna come in here and dominate? That ain't happening. Got a lot of people with a lot of pride, a lot of big egos, rightfully so, that's been putting in work in this league for years. And y'all really think we just gonna let her waltz in here and we're just gonna try to clown us? Same thing with Angel Reese. There was a play last night against the Connecticut Suns where she got put on her ass. And everybody's like, oh, wow. And she's like, look, I'm a rookie. Okay, I got back up. I need that. I need that armor. I need that rough rider to put me on my ass and let me know shit ain't sweet. So I can get up in here. I don't need to be protected. Man, they really need the subs. Everybody's like, oh, she deleted. Oh, she's subbing. Teaspoon on the side, giving the smirk. Do we really need the subs? For those looking from the outside in, and from those in the in crowd, Taurasi is the spokesman for why Clark shouldn't be put up on a pedestal. Really. Like I said before, Sue Bird and Breonna Stewart from the Storm years ago when they was winning championships. You know, every other year. How many people was paying attention? I'll wait. Listen, I'm a novice when it comes to being a hardcore fan of the W. I ain't gonna front like I've been down since day one-ish. Like the Usos straight. I've come and I've gone. When the Liberty are relevant, I'm around. That's home team. I'm a sports fan. But this gatekeeping is becoming problematic in my eyes. Exposure has been a problem for years, right? It's been a problem for years. What I think would be the smart thing, and I keep on reiterating it, what I think would be the smart thing would be to capitalize on exposure instead of actively fighting against it and having a civil war, so to speak, in the league. Both things can be true. If this continues, this can be a monumental step back. Use this to your advantage. Stop being crabs in the barrel. And maybe, just maybe, it'll be like the NBA back in the 80s when Magic and Bird and MJ brought the league to the forefront and it'll jumpstart this phenomenon that we've had for the last 30 years, 40 years, especially the last 30 years. Is this a case of getting things improved, like charter flights? Oh, yeah, it didn't take her to get charter flights. Listen. The fact is, y'all got charter flights on it now, right? Can you look at it? Can you look sideways like, damn, if this broad wasn't here, would we still have to, would we get charter flights? Would we have to get on the bus? Would we have to get commercial flights? Whether fair or foul, yeah, it took too long. 28 years, they should have been got charter. But at the same time, you have to get the revenue to get the charter, right? And not just her, but the league as a whole, the influx of young talent coming into the league over the last couple of years have brought that notoriety out to bring the bread in. So therefore, the owners now with their feet held to the fire, they're like, you know what? All right, we'll give y'all the charters. But one question: is this a matter of getting things improved only if it's the way that you wanted it, or getting things improved at all? I think as long as everything results in a betterment for all, you should take that and run with it. Here's another quote. I'm about to end this. After the Fever game on past Saturday, the Aces also had great ratings. The Aces have 15 games already sold out for the season. Multiple arenas have sold out due to Angel Reese playing there. Yes, Caitlin Clark is a lead driver, but she is not the only one. And that has to be the point. Listen, I get the optics. I've said it already. I get the optics. Yeah, if it wasn't for this 1,000 points of light, no, it's not about 1,000 points of light. It's about that one main spotlight. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And the reality of it is, if anything, the college game has been the impetus behind its popularity. And guess who just came from the college game? Angel Reese. Guess who just came from the college game? Caitlin Clark. Guess who's coming from the college game and about to take all this shit over? Paige Bruckers. Y'all think Kate? Listen, if not for the injury bug that she's had so far in college, Bruckers would be what everybody is looking at this girl being right now. But it keeps on going. It's going to keep on going. Juju, Paige, Staley are driving points as well. I don't get it. But like I said, if they don't capitalize on this next year and change, instead of just saying, oh, no, you're not making it out. No, you're not making it out. Yo, this is mine. You can't touch it. You can't touch it. You can't touch this. Then I don't know when the next time this opportunity to grow this league and make it close to, it's never, I won't say never, but it's still going to take a while to get on the same level as the NBA, just based on longevity. But the quality, some would say, is better because they play a pure game. I might be in that minority. But if you want to really have a truthful discussion about, the equality of both teams, both leagues, y'all have to capitalize on this mainstream visibility. Because if not, I don't know when the next time this comment is going to come like Haley's comment. I don't know when the next time this opportunity is going to come, at least in our lifetimes. Now, this is a topic that I'm not going to stay too long on, but it's a topic that I'm going to talk about because, like, why not? Weed in New York City. The question, good or bad? I know you're like, huh? Well, what are you talking about? The legalization of weed is going on almost 3 years. This coming July will be 3 years. And one of the last acts as governor of New York State, Cuomo, who had long been a proponent against the legalization of marijuana, decided in the waning days of his time in office to say, you know what? Fuck it. Let him get high. Let him get high. Yeah, I'm legalizing it. And to the uninformed, to the uneducated, to people who believe that, he was looking out for everybody under the sun, That's not what it was. He was under fire. They were trying to get him out due to the sexual improprieties that he was accused of, and he figured, well, if I can get the public on my side, something that I've been fighting for over 8-9 years to get done, then just maybe there'll be an outcry saying, no, don't get rid of Andrew Cuomo. We need him. Look what he did. He legalized weed. We no longer have to go to jail for having a nick in our pocket. Do they even have any nicks anymore? I don't know. Just asking. Regardless, Andrew Cuomo thought he was slick. But what he did was he put on the books, yeah, we're going to legalize it. So therefore, I think I want to say anything less than 3 ounces is legal on your body. You can't, of course, you have to have a permit to sell. You have to have a permit to actually grow, but there was really no guidelines in place. So he did it ass backwards. They didn't start actually having a legal dispensary available in the city until the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, a full 18 months after he legalized it. So maybe it makes you wonder, like, all right, if you legalized it and technically it was illegal to sell, but you didn't have any place for anybody to buy it recreational wise, what the fuck you think was going on? Of course, everybody and their mothers start opening up smoke shops, like speakeasies or whatever. Listen, I don't know about that life, so therefore I'm not going to mention it, nothing, because I might be talking out of school. But for let's put it this way, your local bodega that used to just sell chopped cheese is now serving chopped cheese and hash. The hockey way. Listen, I wouldn't put it past motherfuckers. But what was going on was there was no way to actually corral it in. So you had spots just opening up, and the only thing that was on the books was for them to give them smack on the wrist, $500 fine. And guess what? All right, if I'm moving shit the way I'm supposed to be moving it, guess what? I'll pay that 500 and I'll open up next day. And then you come back down. All right, when you finally get back around to me, all right, fine. Okay, thank you. Here's the 500. Go about your business, and I'll open up next day. Only up until now since couple of Hochul, Nurse Jackie, she started, her and Adam started really trying to crack down on all these illegal quote unquote smoke shops and giving them and trying to enforce stricter penalties. Okay. But I asked you this question. Has New York State been the stupidest state to legalize marijuana in the country? Think about it. No guidelines, really. There was no place for the only good thing that came out of this, to tell you the truth, was the fact that there were people who had marijuana arrest on their record. Those records that got expunged, being the fact, all right, if it's legal, then you can't have that shit still on my record. Also, they were supposed to have programs in which minorities would be among the first to actually learn how to be able to open and get permits to open dispensaries, legal dispensaries ran by the state. So I have to ask you this question. So it's been almost 3 years. And yeah, they supposed to be getting tax money off this, right? So why is everything still sky high in the city? In the state? Just asking. What has this really helped done? If you have no guidelines in place, then everything is run amok. Who's to say you can't get on the train and spark up? Yeah, they say no, 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 no. But okay, you give me a ticket, so what? It's not illegal. It's just not not appropriate. Oh, driving under the influence. is there anything really on the books that said that you can't while you're driving? It's not illegal. Yeah, it's driving under the influence, but technically that could be the same thing as DWI, but there's a law for that, right? What's the threshold? At least you know 0 point whatever is the threshold for alcohol. What's the threshold for being nice? Is your eyes pink? Is your eyes red? Just ask it. Just ask it. Another question. Is this Cuomo's real legacy in New York? Out of everything that he did for the year over the years, as I take a swig of seltzer water for the working man, is this his lasting legacy? Not creating a new tier for city workers, state workers, a 3062 pension tier. Is that his legacy? Is his legacy being touchy-feely with members of the opposite sex? Or is his legacy, is his true legacy this? Just asking. Just asking. Is this sustainable? Is there a bigger conspiracy involved with all this freewheeling situation? And are you hating if you mention the silliness of how this came across, how this came about? Once again, just asking. Think about it. Think about it. And listen, I'm far from approved. Listen, years ago, I used to indulge. So listen, it is what it is. Just not my twist anymore. Do y'all think that maybe, just maybe, the powers that be want y'all all head in cloud nine, so y'all not really paying attention to what they have up their sleeve? Just asking. I don't have no answers to that. I'm just throwing out questions. Just throwing out questions before I get to the jokes. Because if you think about it, with all these things, all these issues coming across, and just like I said, just the fact that it ended up being put on the books based on his political career being in jeopardy makes you wonder, well, for all the time you was in office, you could have been to care all this, but now you said, here, take that. Now, like I said, I wasn't gonna get too far into the minutia of that because I gotta get to the jokes, and the jokes is this. And I got video, I got photographic assistance. Anybody know what that is? Yeah, that's a Philly blunt. That's a Philly cigar. Used to be the cigar of choice back in the 90s. It's how to roll the blunt. It's how to roll the blunt. It's how to roll the blunt. Let's get fucked up. Listen, I was a dumbass. Do you know they had these things? I think they still got them. Beaties, right? I used to think beaties were mini joints. No, beaties were whatever the fuck they were. I didn't know how to roll. So we had Phillies. We had White Owls, which are nasty and burnt way too quick. And then we had the Dutch Master. The Dutch Master was the best thing that ever came back in the 90s because it let your weed last so long. You can have 5. Well, man, sure, tell you the truth, that was a struggle. But that was a struggle blunt. But you could have like 3 people on one blunt, and you would have no problems. And everybody get nice. And then you had 2 different ways you could wrap it. You could either take the leaf off and then roll it and then wrap the leaf back together, or you could split it down the middle and do some surgery and just roll it all at once. The Dutch Master. and then became the vanilla Dutch. The vanilla Dutch gave it a little flavor. Darn, I remember those days. The vanilla Dutch. Here's a question. Matter of fact, no, that's TMI. I ain't going there. Question number one. What the fuck is grabber? Yeah, what is grabber? I know it's like crushed up frontal leaf, which is pretty much tobacco. So my thing is, if people want to use grabber, why don't they just get some tobacco and put it in there? People don't realize, especially youngsters out there, don't realize when they get those cravings, they're not getting cravings because, oh, it's time for me to smoke. I need to get nice. I need some trees in my life. They're getting a nicotine fit because any type of tobacco leaf contains nicotine. So when people are starting to get starting to get aggravated because it's been too long and such and such, guess what? It's the grabber. And plus, do y'all really trust? Can you go to a cigar shop and get a bag of whatever the fuck whatever the hell this grabber is? No, you get it from around the way. So you mean to tell me people are taking their stale ass frontal leaf and rubbing it up and crushing it up and putting it in a little baggie and selling it to you third hand? Come on, people. Think. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Another question. Why do people who hate cigarettes use it? Like I said, it's tobacco. Tobacco's bad for you. Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm not going to be on my high horse, but it's been 18 months cigarette free. It's been 17 months alcohol free. And I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel more alive than I've ever been in my fucking life. I was actually dancing in Citi Field during the 7-inning stretch. And one of my compadres was like, yo, damn, Mike has had a lick to drink. That was I was dancing like the motherfucker, the old guy from Great Adventure commercial. Anyway, those were listen, everybody has, like I said, I said it before, I said it again. Everybody has their twist. Everybody has whatever they do. And far be it from me to question anybody else's stuff that they happen to partake in. Listen, to each his own. Because I don't want nobody looking in my closet. No matter how well I might have cleaned out my closet, still some shit back there with some cobwebs on it. So, like I said, this is a subject that I'm bringing up. Not even so much that I had a lot to say on it, because evidently I didn't. But just to let y'all know that these are things that I wouldn't have talked about before. And guess what? I'm going to talk about whatever comes into my mind, because why not? I have nothing. The shackles are free. They've already put me down, the powers that be. So I really have nothing left to lose. And shit. And if they don't like that, You could put that shit in a Dutch master and smoke it. The New York Metropolitans won a game. Yes, I know. I'm shocked myself. The New York Metropolitans won a game. The last game of the 3-game set against the San Francisco Giants by the score of 4-3 in walk-off fashion. But we're not really talking about that. We're talking about my trip to Citi Field with the guys that you see in this picture. Brother Chucky, Brother James, Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach, Brother Sal, and myself at the end. You know that dark-skinned dude, that one that's all the way at the end, that looks like he's about to try not to fall. Yeah, him. Yeah, that's me. It was a great day. I got a lot of clips that I took, and a lot of clips that it's actually going to let talk for me. The first clip that I'm going to show y'all, because like I said, the game was what it was. Omar Navarez hit a single with the bases loaded to bring in the winning run in the bottom of the ninth. Whoop-de-damn-do. The first clip that I'm going to show is Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach finally decided to indulge in some City Connect gear. So he wanted to make sure that I got some footage of the City Connect gear live and in person because he likes it. I hate it. Here we go. Oh. Look at that monstrosity of a hat. Yeah, these are the City Connect hats. Monstrosity. Do we really need the Queensboro Bridge on the hat? I think not. Yeah. No, yeah, they can't see you. All right, I'm good. Like, he actually has a picture somewhere. I didn't ask him for the copy, but he has a picture of him putting this damn City Connect hat on top of my head and taking a picture so he has photographic proof that I actually wore such a monstrosity, which I'm actually a little bit ashamed of. Needless to say, without getting into the specifics, his hat can fit not only on my head, but over my hat as well, with room to spare. Let's put it this way. If I had these headphones on right now, and he came and he put that hat, tried to attempt to put that hat on my head, it would fit, and I would still have room. I'm a size 7.5. I consider myself to have a big head. No pause. I got a big head. My wife loves it. So do I. Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach does not have a size 7.5, but yet it can go on top of my hat. I'm not putting no numbers. I'll let him divulge that whenever he has an opportunity to come on his platform. Second clip, I don't remember, but shoot, maybe I'll ring my memory with this. What y'all said? Y'all said y'all about to smuggle what?
Nothing. Nothing. You try? I'm gonna hurt you. I swear to God.
I didn't say nothing.
Your wife gonna be a widow.
I didn't say. Oh wow. I'm getting threatened at the baseball game. Wow. That's crazy. You know what? I'm going to cut this off right now. I got threatened. Yes, me. I got threatened at the baseball game. He said, keep on playing with him and my wife is going to be a widow. Woo, boy. I got some secrets, but I will not, because that's the bro. Because I do have some to decorum. I will not divulge one of his secrets that's smacking you. It's playing right in your face and y'all ain't know it. Just saying. Mr. Met is a bitch. Yeah, I said it. You heard it. I was getting a little upset that Mrs. Met was walking around everywhere. It wasn't coming to yours truly. Mrs. Met knows what she needs to do, but at the same time, that Mrs. Met was an imposter. Yes, I said it. It was an imposter because the true Mrs. Met in my household goes by the name of Mrs. Ooh. And Mrs. Ooh and Mrs. Met are one and the same when it comes to me. Mr. Met. That Mr. Met that you just saw on the screen, yeah. He's a bitch. This is the one and true Mr. Met that you need to worry about. Next here. Shoot. Might as well let it speak for itself. They know when it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes around at the old ball game. Oh, yeah. Had to let people know, like, look, I got some Sicilian in me. I'm more on the more side, but listen. When the moon hits ya like a great pizza bar, that's amore. When the moon hits ya like a big pizza bar, that's amore. That's when I was dancing and people actually thought, damn, they having drink? No, just living life. Just living life. Oh, this next clip, I was about to say something because listen, the great seats from Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach had, we was in a great section. First time I've actually been on the first base side because I used to really deal with the third base side. But regardless, that section was maybe about 25, 30 feet from the SNY booth, from Harry Rose, Gary Cohen, and them boys. So a lot of the cameras were there, and they was taking cameras because they always give you which going to take a shot of you, put you on the big screen. I actually was on the big screen. I just wasn't able to get capture it because guess what? I was actually enjoying myself. But this particular cameraman, I was looking, and I'm looking in the area that we was at, and we happen to be some, if not the only. And I'm like, yo, my boys are showing out over here. This mother effer don't put one of them on the big screen. I know what time it is. Meanwhile, it looked like he was looking at me like, yo, you got a camera, so I'm going to point at you. But guess what? I'm not shooting you. Needless to say, Chucky actually ended up on the big screen. I was shocked myself. And then there was one like toward the end, right before the end of the game. But I think going into the bottom of the ninth, there was another little thing, and all 5 of us ended up on the big screen. Yeah, shoot, I could truly say I made it, Mama. I made it, Mama. Look at me. The boy's gonna be a star.
That gotta be last year.
No, this is earlier this year. This is not from today. Look at the score. 3-1. But yet they're ridiculous. Yeah, let's go Mets. Bottom of the ninth. Okay, bottom of the ninth. I set the stage because they thought I was going to put that. Yeah, I know it's sideways. Listen, bottom of the ninth, we were down 3-1, and I was talking shit. I was like, yeah, you see, they're putting up all these clips of victories from past yonder. How about a victory today? How about any highlights from today? Guess what? There ain't none. Boy, did they prove me wrong. Boy, did they prove me wrong, because...
Especially when one of you guys been going through. What's that level like? It was going through the world.
Especially like after this is my first hearing on this series, so it is great.
That was Omar Navarez talking about his game-winning walk-off hit. Here, we're going to have it maybe more in depth. Actually, footage. Tie game. Bottom of the ninth. 1 out. Bases loaded. Can he get the job done? Yeah, as you saw the look on my face, I was in amazement, like, wow, these mother effers actually did it. They actually did it. 2 more clips and then I get out of here. Well, at least for this subject. I told you I ain't rushing out of here. Y'all gonna get this episode. Y'all gonna get these minutes. Y'all gonna get these hours. 1, 2. All right, double. Another great Sunday at City Field. Look, that's Smitty from the group home in Bergen Beach. That's Brother Zal. They're just so upset. Let me zoom out a little bit. Don't you see the joy? The joy in Metville?
That's the joy?
Yeah, that's the joy.
Sweet joy.
Shoot, matter of fact. Oh yeah, look at that nasty ass hat he got. Some of us didn't get the memo. Look, 1, 2, 3.
I knew they was gonna wear the blue today.
Yeah. Shoot. See, these seats are courtesy from the group home.
I'm so happy at the end. He was really going crazy.
Oh, I can zoom. You act like I can't zoom. Shoot, yeah. See, don't you know his hat goes on top of my hat seamlessly? Let me see the size. No. Give me that gold sticker. Yeah, 7 5/8. Woo, boy. I swear, I'm such an asshole. I'm such an asshole. But see, he willingly set the size. I got it. Jolly old Saint Nick was in the building. 1, 2, 3, no, 2 blue moons. I was the designated driver. Everything was great. Everything was great. Now the last one, I don't remember what this was, but shoot, listen to it also. Got their rally caps on, their height. Vientos look like he's about to pinch hit. Beautiful. Lindor's at bat. Is he going to make a hit? Let's see. Nope, not yet. Oh, foul. And that's probably as close as we're going to get. I was talking mucho shit the whole game. But like I've said before, and I'll say it again, a win is a win is a win. Meaning, if I was wrong, which I was, and the Mets actually won the game, guess what? My team won. If I was right with all my Mets slander and the Mets lost the game, guess what? Your boy was right. No lose situation. But seriously, it was a great time. This is the earliest we've actually gone to a game as a group. This particular group. So in actuality, it actually leaves time for another outing before the season's over. And just for the amount of time and amount of joy that I had today, maybe we gotta make that come to a fruition. You know, whether or not the Mets are actually worth our patronage, it was just the camaraderie that we enjoyed with one another that made the time just that much better. You know, and jokes were flying, food was being devoured, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. So Mets win. The Mets win. The Mets win. Now I'm going to end off. Well, I'm going to bring the segments to a close with the Potpourri of Bullshit Part 3. I'm going to go rapid succession, rapid fire on a couple, well, actually 2 topics that I want to talk about, but not too in depth. First topic would be the anti-Semitic, the movement against anti-Semitism going on in New York schools, in the New York school system, New York City school system to be exact. And I quote, a partnership between the school system and the Jewish Children's Museum to educate kids about the culture and to combat the recent spike in anti-Semitism. The schools will introduce a new curriculum starting in September from grades K through 12 to be centered around tolerance and acceptance. School's chancellor, David Banks's goal is to hopefully to get more children to visit the museum to further their understanding of the Jewish culture, which I personally find very ironic due to a personal story of mine concerning my dear sister-in-law, who I will entitle Sister O of Joy. Years ago, okay, this has to actually go back further than the incident that I'm going to refer to. Years ago, like, all right, even in my current location, I live a 15-minute walk from the Brooklyn Children's Museum, right? When I was growing up, I lived 5 minutes away from the Brooklyn Children's Museum. Yeah, so you see, I'm still in the neighborhood, right? But I digress. So back then, Brooklyn Children's Museum, actually, I went to school right next to the Brooklyn Children's Museum. We used to call it BCM, right? BCM Park, Broward Park. Went to 289. So after school, we would always go into the museum. Not so much of a hangout spot, but some place to do. If we even want to go straight home, still hang out with our schoolmates, whatever, before we actually parted ways. Now, fear or foul, and to tell you the truth, it was foul. Being the fact that that was the only museum, and I lived in Crown Heights, grew up in Crown Heights, so we shared the neighborhood with Hasidic Jews. And the ignorance of us, especially being young, yeah, there was some type of anti-Semitism going on. Just real ignorant shit like hell, Hitler, and all that other bullshit. Listen, call a spade a spade. Not saying shit didn't happen, shit happened. Or at least back then it was more segregated. So like the separation line was technically Eastern Parkway. So on one side of Eastern Parkway, that's where the Jewish were, and on the other side of Eastern Parkway, that's where we were. This is like in the 90s, 80s, 90s, right? So a lot of times they didn't really come on outside of Eastern Parkway, and we didn't really go on their side of Eastern Parkway. It pretty much, that was the separating line. So we fast forward, let's say 10 some odd years later, maybe a little bit more. Let's say 15 years later, late 90s, early 2000s, probably early 2000s, because Sister U of Joy was a teenager. The Jews, opened and built their own children's museum. Now it's actually located right across the street from their center. I don't know the name of the center, but pretty much the International Center in Crown Heights. They come from all over. A lot of them come from overseas, from Israel to study prayer, what have you, right? So they opened their own Jewish children's museum, because I guess they got tired of every time they get into Brooklyn Children's Museum, they were getting discriminated on, they were getting harassed, and so forth. So they said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna build our own, and that's what they did. Now, my dear Sister U of Joy, she was enamored about museums. She actually was a learned young girl, so she wanted to actually go and see and learn about different cultures. So she tried to enter the Jewish Children's Museum. Do you know what happened? They told her, you can't be here. Get out. But my Sister U of Joy was a young woman of persistence. So she continued to try and get entry into this museum that housed knowledge that she was inquisitive about. And time after time after time after time after time, they kicked her black ass out. So that's why I say it's kind of ironic for me that that they're actually funding, or they're behind this partnership with New York City school system to enlighten and help educate the society at large in the school system about their way of life. When they first started, someone who was not like them attempted to learn about their situation, to learn about their culture, and they were greeted in a roundabout way the same way that they were greeted back in the day in the Brooklyn Children's Museum. So when I saw this, read this article and realized this was going on, I'm like, wow. And the first thing that came to my mind was my Sister U of Joy used to get kicked out of the Jewish Children's Museum on a weekly basis. So we fast forward 20 some odd years later. Now the doors are open. I guess better late than never, right? I guess so. Topic number 2 on the Potpourri of Bullshit. Rapsody song. Rapsody. Hip hop, rap extraordinaire, MC extraordinaire. Came out with a song called D&D. It's not personal. And the subject matter around it made me think. Like, wow, I actually like the subject matter. It's about taking time for yourself. Self-care, which is a key word when especially people who are in therapy. Self-care, meaning taking time to care about yourself. Sometimes one of the analogies is filling your own cup. If your cup is empty, you can't help anybody else because you have nothing left to help anybody else because you have nothing for yourself. But more importantly, you have to keep something for yourself, because if not, unfortunately, very far and few between do people come and actually pour into your cup. So you have to engage in self-care. And the song D&D, It's Not Personal, by Rapsody, kind of try to encapsulize. Yeah, well, y'all know what the hell I'm trying to talk about. That mentality. I'm going to read some lyrics. Hopefully, I don't get banned for reading the lyrics. Napping all day long, only answer calls from the door dash. Ask you good or you lost. So much time I've lost. Know how much it cost. Family time in peace. The money can't be bought. Spoil myself today. I bought. And now this is her talking. Got my nails done, toes done, hair done, and all. Pack my bags, take a flight. Please do not call. I'm somewhere with a bad reception with my phone turned off. Meaning, she's taking time for herself. Don't take it personal that she's not available. Because in order for her to be available to you, she has to have availability to herself. And sometimes it takes that drastic action of closing yourself down, just going off the grid to re-energize, to be, I wouldn't say a social butterfly, but just to actually have the strength to be around other people, to actually be able to accomplish the things that you're trying to accomplish. Almost a year ago today, a little over a year ago today, I had a short video that I put out entitled, it was a sprinkle of salt video entitled Self-Care. I chose to go, this is like this park on the side of the Belt Parkway, near the Verrazano Bridge, a little walkway. People go this fishing, whatever, bicycling, running, walking, whatever. And I always used to drive by there, and I'm like, darn, that looks like a place that I want to go just to be at one with my thoughts. So one day last year, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I got up, I got dressed, drove out there and walked there. And yeah, I made a video. But more importantly, I just went out there because that was something I wanted to do and something I needed to do, and I did it. Now, one of the things I do on a weekly basis, I didn't do today because, listen, we went to the baseball game, which is another form of self-care. Every Sunday afternoon, to be exact, when I finish my therapy session, and listen, I'm not ashamed of that I go to therapy. So what? Every Sunday after I finish my session, I make a point to walk about an hour and a half by myself. Sometimes I have my headphones on, and I'm listening to whatever I feel like listening to, either podcasts or some soft music, but pretty much just to get one with my thoughts, to try to kind of rationalize what I just either discovered, what I talked about, or just sometimes maybe not to even think about anything, just be at one with myself. And I found that is very, very much needed, at least once a week. I walk every day. I make a point on my break from work, my half-hour break. I walk about 20 blocks. And sometimes, once again, that's the time for me to clear my thoughts, also to get some exercise. But it's very important that D&D, you can't take it personal. I feel like if those who proclaim to care about you, if they take it personal that you're actually taking time for yourself, then maybe that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. Or as a matter of fact, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. If I'm telling you, don't worry about it, don't take it personal. It's not personal. I need some time for me. Then you gotta trust that. If you don't trust it, that once again, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem. So when this song came across my desk, so to speak, and I really listened to it, I'm like, wow, okay. And I felt like that was something that needed to be expressed and applauded because I know it was nice just a month ago. It was all good a month ago when we was going back and forth with Drake and Kendrick and all the deep dark secrets they were slinging at each other, whether fair, foul, true or false. Sometimes music can soothe the savage beast, and sometimes music has a message that you can take and internalize it and use it into your own life. It's not just for entertainment purposes only. So I just wanted to get that out. And last but not least, that picture on your screen is from a student from Kip Amp Academy in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. But not just any student. No. That is from my Nisi Poo. Yes, Nisi Poo. I wish I could blow it up. But my Nisi Poo is an artist extraordinaire. And they had like an art gallery of sorts this past week. And this is a happy belated birthday to my Nisi Poo, who turned, wow, did she turn 13? Oh my goodness. Is she 13 already? Oh wow. But regardless, happy belated birthday to my Nisi Poo. And this is another one of her pictures. When I say this girl can draw, and this girl is so creative, it's a beautiful thing. No, not be putting her picture of her on this Summer Jam screen because I'm not putting that out for y'all sick fucks. I don't know who might just happen to browse my page, browse my channel. And plus, I would have to get permission. But no, even if I had permission, nope. No can do. But look at her artistry. And I just wanted to give a shout out to my Nisi Poo for her pictures and her belated birthday. And that's pretty much, I want to say that's pretty much all of the potpourri of bullshit I have. So I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Well, people, that brings us to the end of another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me in this here podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Next week will be more of the same, as in I'm going to be talking about whatever the hell comes to my mind. Maybe I won't be going an hour and 40 minutes, and maybe I will. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? I'm going to get to the plugs right now. Hidden Gems Football. Please check out Hidden Gems Football, hosted by the Mojo King and myself. New episodes during the football season drop every Thursday. on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group. Yes. We will have some episodes coming in short order. Shoot, it's almost Labor. I mean, it's almost Memorial Day, meaning it's almost June. Meaning OTAs, if they haven't started, will be starting. Mini camps will be starting soon. And be on the lookout. Beginning of July, we're going to start coming rapid fire after ass. And get y'all ready for the preseason. And get y'all ready for this upcoming NFL season of action. With our world-renowned division by division breakdown. Yes, that's right. Hidden Gems Football, hosted by the Mojo King and myself. New episodes will drop each and every Thursday at the very beginning of the football season, and they will be available at the YouTube channel of the Mike 19 Media Group. And while we check out the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, yeah, that's here. The audio version on the following platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music, amongst others, because shoot, that might be the only way you can hear it. New episodes drop each and every Wednesday. Check me out on the social medias at Mike Steffens _ on X, formerly known as Twitter. On the gram at Mike _ Steph. And on TikTok at Mike Steph _. Cash at me some money at $ Donnie Mike. And check out my new blog, MikeSteffOrg.wordpress.com. You know what's real important about checking out MikeSteffOrg.wordpress.com? Because starting last week and starting now, you can check out the video form of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, just in case a certain entity wants to keep on banning my ass. Y'all could go on my blog site, MikeSteffOrg@wordpress.com. Matter of fact, 1 minute. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, there we go. MikeSteffOrg.wordpress.com. Y'all can check out the video form of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, just in case y'all don't get no notifications on YouTube. But please, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. So hopefully when I actually do drop, y'all will be the first ones to hear it. But if you do not get no notification by Monday morning, it doesn't mean that I didn't drop. It just means that YouTube is depriving y'all of what y'all truly need and what y'all richly deserve. So if y'all don't see it, you can go on the search button, or you can go to MikeSteffOrg.wordpress.com, and the YouTube video will be there for your disposal. Yeah, it might not be a Patreon. It might not actually be a website, but guess what? This noggin is always thinking. Noggin's always thinking. Thinking. Last but not least, please check out my bros from Gimmick Infringement, Winchester and McDowell. They drop Gimmick Infringement each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube page of the 19 Media Group. They are not only just a wrestling podcast. No. They are so much more. And just to show you how much more they are, I'm going to give you a little preview. Matter of fact, I'm going to read exactly what they got, the special episode they got coming up this week. The guys welcome Emily Aluro Jones of the Female Driven Podcast to preview some of this summer's most noteworthy films. Brad is ready for Deadpool's return, and so am I. Tyler reveals a personal connection to the Bad Boy franchise. And Emily still loves Kate Blanchett. Don't we all? This is the episode you need to catch. Tune in. So, yeah, check them out. It's debuting Probably by the time I drop this, it'll probably be dropped on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group. So please check out them. You'll be glad you did. And before I get out of here, I like to extend my brother Coob, who passed away last year unexpectedly. His birthday just passed. Actually, him and Nisi Pu'u share the same birthday, May 25th. He would have been 47. Happy birthday, brother. I love you and love you dearly. Always will. I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of half blocked it out. I've been all week. I've come from last week, my mother's birthday, this week, my brother's birthday. So I mean, I usually I don't really like doing stuff or mentioning stuff. But at the same time, I feel caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, darn, I want to mention it, but at the same time, I don't want to seem like I'm exploiting it. You understand what I'm saying? But I say all that to say the reason I'm even mentioning it is, and I say I at the risk of repeating myself, but it needs to be repeated. He's the reason why I continue doing this. Because anytime I've thought about, F this, I don't feel like dealing with it no more. It's not for nothing. Especially now, I always hear his voice in my head like, Mike, remember what you did this shit for. Remember what you started it for. So as long as you're continuing to remember that and you feel like continuing, then do so. If you don't feel like doing it, make sure you don't feel like doing it for the proper reasons. And yeah, so even though I've taken a step back due to the powers that be, I ain't going to let that stop me. Not going to let that stop me at the least. So yeah. With all that being said, love you, cool. And always well. So until next week, I'm not even gonna mess around and step on that, because I want that to be the lasting word of this episode. So till next week, catch y'all later.